Okay, so on to the next track in Sammy's Rock Empire Fridays, man. We are already 4 down. We are now on the 5th. This over here is called Scott Stapp, Higher Power. I don't think I've ever reacted to Scott Stapp. I think this is completely new to the channel. Definitely haven't reacted to the song. No, I don't think I've reacted to Scott Stapp. Right, I'm actually kind of second guessing myself here, but I don't think so. So yeah, for those of you who are only joining us now, I suggest you go back and start from the Stone Sour track that we reaction that we dropped 2 hours ago. Start from there and move your way up. You also can go and watch my update video in terms of what we're doing. I just wanted to update everybody because I know that I've been away for a couple of days. I've been busy with something. I've been busy with the alley anthems and stuff like that, so I haven't been able to drop. So at least I want to just sort of bring everything and put all the cards on the table and just sort of like tell you guys exactly what's happening moving forward, and so that you guys are sort of in the loop with what's going on. So you can go and watch that. I dropped that first before I dropped any of this. So let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what we got. Scott Stapp, Higher Power. Let's go.
First off the edge, waking up to the sound of the living dead. Life had forsaken me, left me alone to bleed.
That's fire, waking up to the sound of the living dead. So these people are literally living and walking among us, but they might as well be dead. They literally are dead. It's almost like they don't see and they don't feel their own existence. The fact that they still have a beating heart within them. It just feels like everyone around him is dead. Right?
Me alone to bleed. I was ready to meet my maker.
Okay, this is definitely a song about suicide. 100% over here. I think it's literally he got right up to that edge where it kind of feel like he said in the beginning, where he like was falling off the edge, right? And I'm not entirely sure if he attempted it, right? And then it kind of failed, but in that sort of, thank God that it failed, but in that failure, he kind of was resurrected. Right, he was reborn. Fire, 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 fire. The day I died is the day I actually was brought back to life. It's the day I lived. I came back to life. Let's go.
Now I'm alive. I walk through fire. I survive. I'm burning brighter. Standing on top of the world. I ain't coming down. I'm alive. I've become the fire rising high. I'm burning brighter. Today I climbed out through my darkest hour.
Ooh, the day I crawled out from my wait a second. That is a fucking fire. That is a fire line if there ever was. The day I climbed out through my darkest hour. I told you, you only find me. I've said this so many times on this channel, right? And you guys can attest to that. I've said the only time you will find meaning in your existence is through strife and pain. You're not going to find that in the easy times. You're not going to find any of that in the easy times. You're only going to find that when you're trying to create some level of order in your life, and through that, trying to find that order is where you're going to go through that strife and that pain. And in that pain is where you're going to get all of the meaning in your existence. Absolutely in that pain. And that's what gives so much value to your good times. Your bad times are so damn important because your bad time gives the value to the good times in your life, right? That bad times, if you had to just change your mindset, change your perspective, saying, yes, I'm going through the fucking throes of it now. It's unbelievably fucking painful, but my God, when the storm passes, God, am I going to see my life in a very different way? God, are the good times going to feel good? Do you know what I mean? That pain is what gives that's where you find your higher power, essentially, to use his words. That's what Paul's character.
Crawling through hell, hear the demons screaming in my head. Pulling out nails from the coffin they call my bed. Life had forsaken me, left me alone to bleed. I was ready to meet
that over there where he's saying pulling out nails from a coffin that they call my bed, it's almost like he's trying to say that his bed is his coffin, because when he sleeps that's where his nightmares come. Essentially, that's where he has the least peace, right? Which is kind of actually quite funny in terms of the way, if you actually think about it, it's like where you rest temporarily while you're still alive, where you rest is kind of where you're supposed to sort of rejuvenate your body, rejuvenate your soul, essentially. But it actually feels like every time he goes to rest, it kind of feels like he's closer to death. It kind of feels like he's dying, essentially. So it's like those nightmares are just all too encompassing. So I like that play in terms of like what is meant to be restful, and even when you die, it's supposed like that rest in peace. Like that's where you're supposed to find some sort of peace after all of the agony and the pain of life and whatever else, right? And it's not. It's almost like you're in like the devil's lair there. So it's almost like that's why he would turn to like suicidal ideation, because of the fact that he's like, I literally can't get any rest, and I'm going to try and find. But the idea of actually taking your life is actually you literally throwing yourself into the pits of hell, because that in itself is a sin for you to take your own existence. Do you know what I mean? So, and whatever, people are going to be like, people try to sort of play that out in terms of like, no, like in terms of like, oh no, but you don't know what you're going through. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If you decide to take your own existence, right? That is a sin. I understand people go through tough and trying times and things like that and whatever else, but it doesn't change the fact that what you have, what you were given, is a gift. And your decision to take that from yourself should not be seen in a positive light. I think it should be seen in a very negative light. And then the fact that we're now starting to see that in a positive light, in terms of like, well, if people just decide they want to die, we can assist you with that. Like in terms of Canada, in terms of like they do assisted suicide now, where it's like, well, if you're depressed, that's cool, it's fine. You can come in and we'll make it nice for you. It should be a celebratory thing. No, the fact that we're doing that in society is absolutely a travesty. It's actually devaluing your life. They're literally telling you, your existence isn't good enough. There's no value to your existence. If you feel like you're having a hard time, we can help you just kick the bucket, man. We can help you get out of here, man. Really. And the reason we'll help you get out of here, because we prefer that you get out of here, because like, it's like it's too much to actually deal with you. And I agree with you. I think we should. That's very fucking evil. That's very malevolent, right? That is literally straight out of fucking Mein Kampf if there ever was a fucking idea. It's just sort of, it's now cleansed. It's more clinical, and they play on the compassion of it, essentially. But I think it would make it makes any decent person stomach turn.
Left me alone to bleed. I was ready to meet my maker. Now I'm alive. I walk through fire, I survive. I'm burning brighter, standing on top of the world. I ain't coming down. I'm alive. I've become more fire, rising high. I'm burning brighter. Today I climbed out through my darkest hour. I found my higher power.
Ooh, those chords, those electric guitars.
It was the death of me that made heaven speak. Heard the angels calling out my name.
I love the way this is written. It was the death of me that made the heavens speak. That's fire. It's fire. He found himself in his sort of like quote unquote death, but it's not really in terms of death. It's like the death of his own mind, in terms of like, this is why I've spoken about this before, in terms of like trying to kill off the idea of you is so unbelievably difficult, because it means that you need to look into the mirror and realize that the version of you that you see in the mirror is just not it. And for a human being to sit there, having invested all of your life in this idea of you, to then say, in order for me to have a better life, in order for me to have a better existence, I need to kill off, right? who I am. I need to kill off, not physically, I need to kill off the idea of who I am right now in order to rewrite a new chapter for myself. That over there can literally send tremors down your spine. It is so difficult to actually do that. And that's why people get stuck in that. And that's why people also psychologically are in this consistent turmoil. And they're trying to run, but they can't run from themselves. That gray cloud will always be above them until they look in that mirror and be like, the version of you that exists right now just does not cut it. I need to kill off that now in order for me to live. Do you know what I mean? And that version of yourself needs to be buried and everything with it. All of the people that added no value to your life, that needs to be buried with that character. All of the mistakes you did in the past needs to be buried with that character. All of the shameful things you've done, that thing needs to be dealt with and buried with that person, right? That person itself needs to be dead. And from the ashes of that, you will be reborn, seeing the world in a very different light, essentially. So that's basically plays into that. And that's a hard thing to fucking do.
Angels calling out my name. It was a eulogy for the part of me that will never ever be the same. It took all the rise to open blinded eyes. The day I died.
Listen to how nice the writing is over here. It took a fall to rise. Just absolutely awesome, right? It almost sounds paradoxical to a certain degree, but it took a fall to rise, which is absolutely incredible. Through your fall is where you rise because of the lessons, right? You only learn when you fall, essentially. Come on, man.
The day I died was the day I came back to.
I love the fact at the end over there that he repeats that multiple times. I think it was 3 or 4 times where he literally repeats that. The day I climbed out of my darkest hour, I found my higher power. And he keeps saying, because that literally, this entire song, that's the message that he wants to slap on you, and he wants that message to stick, right? He wants that message to stick for anybody who needs to hear that. Is that you might be in your darkest hour, but when you climb out of that, that's when you're gonna find your fucking higher power. So don't fucking give up. I love that. Really sick song. Probably one of my favorites of the day. I think my favorite so far is Rob Thomas Pieces, and now Scott Stapp, Higher Power. But you guys let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.